All right, good morning and welcome to the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016 here in Calgary, Alberta. My name's Statman and I'm here with the one and only.
With the Derby Nerd, yes. And we have Devil's Reject here as our producer for this second showdown here on the Nerd track number 1 in the 2016 Men's Roller Derby World Cup. And we are about to see Mexico make their international debut on the flat track stage and taking on one of the strong teams from the first Men's Roller Derby World Cup, Wales.
That's right. Wales are one of my picks to outperform their performance from last time. You know, they got into 6th place with a tough 1-point loss to Australia that came down to the timing of the final whistle. Both those teams a little bit stronger. Mexico have a huge amount of talent that have been at MRDA champs before. You recognize about half of those faces from around the track down in St. Louis. So
San Diego.
Sure.
Aftershocks, a lot of Aftershock skaters in that Mexico team. Yeah, so this is,
and
even though they're
MRD.
That's right. Even though they are internationally inexperienced, they're a roster full of very experienced skaters.
That's right, and we can see that there are quite a few viewers down in Mexico already tuned into the game. So thanks for tuning in. Good luck to everybody at home. Hope you enjoy.
That's right, and we will do our best to get do these Mexican names justice. But of course, we do have those thick English tongues, and we can't quite pronounce them as beautifully as they deserve. But we will definitely do our best. But an exciting moment here for fans of Mexican roller derby. Of course, the women performed in the last Women's Roller Derby World Cup, performed admirably there. So it's now great to see the men's program developing now as well.
All right, we've got our 30-second warning. So everybody's out there on the track. Looks like we're going to have Phillips jamming up against Alex Storm to start off this game. Ben Phillips I think he's from Swansea, but I know he's from further west of Cardiff. Could be Neath.
And Alex Storm. So this is just a reminder, these are 30-minute games here. 1 timeout, no official reviews, interestingly. Correct. And it takes 5 penalties to foul out. So, which is actually, I think, fairly generous.
It is fairly generous. That decision was made because foul outs cause more foul outs. It's a chain reaction. So by increasing a little bit over half the number of penalties, you actually decrease the number of overall penalties because a short team, you don't end up with those very short rosters who start fouling out of frustration.
That's right. Now, Alex Storm, one of those skaters that you mentioned, Statman, who is transferring to TX MRD for the 2017 season.
There we go. Knew there were a few on there. Looks like both teams very eager to go on this one. Who wouldn't be, right?
Yeah, fine jerseys. What a great opening morning it has been so far here on track number 1. I can only assume it's as good over on track number 2.
Well, I've seen the updates. Australia took down Belgium by a very big margin. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, we're underway.
An opening jam now underway. Nice defense right off the start from Mexico. Taking that back line.
Without a doubt, Ben Phillips rolled out. He's going to have to roll back. Meantime, Wales down to 2-wall at the front. You're seeing it right now. Lead jammer status given. Out of play for the Wales wall. Lead jam to Mexico. And Ben Phillips on his way to the penalty box for a backlock.
So power jam opportunity here for the newcomers. Mexico coming out storming here in the opening moments and have an opportunity to do some damage here early on. Now the overlay coming up on your screen.
Hello, overlay.
So you can follow along at home as well. Nice defense here from Wales.
Very well done. Beautiful recycling job. Helping keep the Mexican jammer in play and extending that penalty kill. Ben Phillips not yet standing. Now he's standing.
Jenkins heading to the penalty box though, so Wales down a blocker.
And jam called with Ben Phillips standing, so about 9 seconds of power jam left. Mexico up 5-0. That's a heck of a way to start there, Derby Nerd.
Yeah, absolutely. Great start for Mexico's, as we mentioned, the debutantes here in 2016, up against one of the more experienced team. And Wales has also played a lot of roller derby in the build-up toward this World Cup as well. Another thing that Mexico did not do in preparation for this either.
That's correct. Wales had that opportunity to join in the Four Nations tournament, part of the Road to Calgary series. And here we go, Mexico with 2 to beat, 1 to beat at the front. He's got lead jammer status. Ben Phillips has returned. So it's a jammer duel Oh, beautiful roller derby. Little last second hit up there. I know the guy, I just can't think of his name.
And a little bit of a drag back now, too, happening here from the Wales jammer.
That was Butler. Credit Wales's Butler with making that a pointless jam, taking the Mexican jammer one last hit, giving his jammer an opportunity.
And now up, it's going to be Jones on the jam line for Wales, up against Navarrillo.
El Navarrijo, I think.
Navarrijo.
That's the best I can do.
Navarrijo. You see, we're gonna get better as this game goes on, as the weekend goes on.
I live in Washington, but we don't get a lot of Mexican names to say, unfortunately. So here we go, lead jammer to Wales.
First lead jam status of the game for Wales.
That's correct. Reese going around here.
But the Mexican defense has kept them in this game, and as you can see, it's strong too now as we move to the back straightaway.
But look at Wales throwing in great offensive blocks. The Mexicans were clever enough to get around and put some hits on Mr. Jones there, but you saw the rest of the Wales pack move in, set up some key offensive friendly sides for him.
Yeah, and that could be that experience of playing together. That really seems to be the difference between a lot of teams. When they do have that track time, that transition into offense just happens a little more quickly, a little more smoothly. But this Mexican team is just loaded with individual talent, as we are seeing. Wales in a bit of a hole 3.5 minutes into this 30-minute seeding game here at the 2016's Men Roller Derby World Cup. Ashby jamming in the red for Wales. And up against Alex Tron, once again, number 30 in the green for Mexico. Both packs now moving into the first apex. Nice little knockout and drag back by Davies sends Alex Tron back into the starting line.
And that's exactly what Wales need. They've got that coveted lead jam status. Can they convert it into points? I mean, it's a 4-point difference. This could be the jam. He's got to call it off, though. Big pile up. Let's see the score. 2. I've got 2.
There was a back block called there. And it's going to go to a Wales blocker. That's Butler, number 7, heading to the penalty box. So a slight pack advantage here for Mexico as this jam gets underway. Soy Tupero back on the line for his second jam, up against Phillips for Wales.
And this next jam brought to you by Brown Paper Tickets. Brown Paper Tickets has been supporting roller derby for over a decade. We love this sport and are working to help gear up the Women's League in Lebanon. You can make a difference for roller derby Beirut by visiting our donation page at Got Game Need Gear at brownpapertickets.com. Back to the game, Derby Nerd.
Yeah. And we are back underway, and another lead jammer status picked up for Mexico, continuing to keep Wales on their toe stops here early on.
You know, it's early. I want to hit the upset alarm.
Yeah.
If you're looking for an upset, you got to watch this game.
Mexico announcing themselves as a team to watch.
They definitely are. They worked Ben Phillips just one-on-one and really made him work to earn his way out of the pack. Nonetheless, we got 4 points in it for Mexico. Ends the jam. So 4-0 on that jam.
Just over 5 minutes in, a 9-3 lead for Mexico.
You know, I love the excitement of these teams coming here. Mexico may not have put in the prep work of playing some preseason games, like some of these other teams, but I just looked down at the NSOs, and their jammer wristbands are Team Mexico branded custom print jammer wristbands.
Wow.
They've gone that hardcore, plus the beautiful jerseys. Every team here. And back to the action.
The jersey game has definitely been upped here in 2016.
The jersey game is strong.
Penalty boxes are empty. It's 5-on-5, and a nice little drag back once again from the Mexican defense sends Jones back almost to turn number 4.
And it's a power jam for Wales. We've got a forearms penalty against the Mexican jammer. That's El Navarrijo. So Reese Jones soloing out there.
It's an opportunity here for Wales to get back in this one.
It wouldn't be a Team Wales without Jones on the track. That wouldn't.
No, that's very true.
And all our Welsh fans know I say that with love. 5-point grand slam for Reese Jones.
So Wales able to weather the early storm from Team Mexico, keeping them within reach, and now a power jam opportunity will allow them potentially to take a lead here. It looks like a procedure being called.
Illegal box exit, yes, relayed by the NSO in the penalty box.
Don't want to make too many assumptions, but a potential leaving early from the penalty box. It was signaled from the NSO, so it came from the penalty box. Back-to-back power jams now for Wales, and they have taken their first lead of the game.
I've had my eye on the penalty box right there. The issue was that he was told to stand and misinterpreted that as an instruction to depart.
All right, so there it was. Early leaving from the penalty box.
That skater actually has a hearing impairment.
Oh, yes,
And
that's
so
right.
the physical signal was misinterpreted. And that's okay. They're drilling him now on the physical signals. They're going to give him visual signals as well as contact. Wales now taking the lead, 16-9.
Yeah, El Navarro, of course, skating in Mexico City. And we are on the Nerd track here, my favorite track. So Nerd Roller Skates is your dedicated roller skate shop with everything you need for derby, rink, or park. Visit them online at www.nerdskates.com.
And we have a massive recycle job coming in right now on Ashby. Ashby jamming for Wales. It's a 3-on-4 pack advantage for the Welshman. He comes around. There's lead jam status. And let's see what Wales set up in terms of offense. They're already grouped together. You can expect something to happen here.
Yeah, right in a nice position there on turn 2. No, and they're just going to set the they do send their pivot up to play a little offense there.
Oh, that's not any pivot. That's Hugo Boss from Manchester Roller Derby. He has a Welsh grandmother. And his father took him aside when he said he was going to try out for Wales and actually gave him a tear-filled, heartfelt speech of how his mom would be proud of him.
Oh, there you go.
Isn't that great? That's roller derby for you, folks.
And doing a fantastic job here getting Wales back in this one. They've now increased the lead significantly, so perhaps just shaking off a little jet lag at the beginning of this game.
They are recent arrivals. Some of these teams flew in 3 or 4 days ago. I know Wales came in far more recently. Nonetheless, a great jam for Wales, 12 points.
That's right.
A lot closer to where, personally, I expected the scorelines to be headed.
Yeah, 25-0 run right now for Wales. They were down by 6 and just fought their way back here. On the strength, a lot of those back-to-back power jams helped a lot. Phillips back on the jam line for Wales up against Alex Tron once again.
That's a great name, Alex Tron. All right, Wales, or Mexico in a beautifully braced 3 at the back. Some great wrecking ball offense from Clutterbuck for Wales. Meanwhile, the Mexican jammer having to work his way. The Welsh pack is scrambled, but they're still got him under control. Lead jammer to Wales.
Yeah, Alex Tron having a hard time getting through that pack. A lot of one-on-one battles, finally able to win it at turn 2 and through on his initial pass.
When I used to coach, I said if you play one-on-one derby, you lose. But it looks like Wales don't know that rule because they're winning a lot of one-on-one derby.
They are, and I think maybe Mexico dragging that out of them a bit, and Wales seems up for the challenge and have met it.
Well, Wales are a very, very physical team. So it doesn't surprise me that they're quite happy to engage on some one-on-one blocks. So we've got Mr. Jones out there on the jammer line, and he is jamming solo right now. And we have an official timeout. The official timeout is pulling the jammer out of the penalty box. A little bit of confusion as to whether he's going to, nope, he's not going to take the stars this jam.
Okay.
Should not have started in the box, that's fine. Soy Tu Pero will start on the jammer line for Mexico up against Jones.
4-3 pack advantage for Mexico. We're going to start that one again.
Yeah, the rolling whistle misinterpreted. Happens to the best of us. But, you know, third game of a 65-game tournament.
Yes.
I think everybody's just a little eager to get underway, don't you, Derby Nerd?
Still early in the morning here, too. Mountain time, 10:14 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
It is beautiful out here.
Absolutely, yeah.
For those of you using Fahrenheit, it's about 70 degrees, a little bit cooler inside. So that's about 15 centigrade. Perfect day.
Perfect day for roller derby. I don't think anyone watching this game would be using Fahrenheit.
No, well.
Unless there's some American, Puerto Rican.
I see a few viewers in America.
Okay. Well, that was for you.
And a cross-cutting penalty for Rhys Jones. He's on his way to the penalty box, so it's a power jam Mexico. Lead jammer status as well.
And Mexico needed this. The momentum had clearly tilted into the favor of Wales, and now Mexico with an opportunity to punch back and get back in this one with the pack dead stopped at turn number 3. Nice offense being worked there right now from Pablex. Couldn't quite open up that inside line. Carl LeFou finishes the job.
Ooh, beautifully done. Beautiful offense, great pack control.
Just default derby, sweep the inside on those turns.
And that's what
Get
you
them
have to
through.
love about the way Mexico are playing. It's good default strategy,
Yep.
and it's pack control. Wales are playing one-on-one and doing well. Mexico are very much working as one unit.
Yep.
And when it works, it's working beautifully.
I'm enjoying this Mexican team, liking what I'm seeing here early on.
Well, remember, they're also going to take on the Germany that we saw earlier,
Yep.
as well as Spain and Canada.
Yeah.
And Mexico, Germany, Mexico, Spain, those are going to be really fun games.
This is suddenly becoming a little bit of a group of death now that we've seen the potential of this Mexican team.
Holy cow, isn't it though? Here we go, we are back underway.
And we've made it all the way halfway around the track before we have a lead jammer named.
Jones. He came out of the box just in time to pick up lead jammer status.
Alex
Pick up
stormed
points,
through.
says his bench manager.
We're nearing the midway point here of this 30-minute game. Jam called off with 4 on the board for Wales, so increasing their lead now. But nonetheless, it is only 21 points, 17 minutes to go.
This is one of the tighter games that we're going to expect in this 30-minute period.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at that, it's okay, it's 17 points, but we're halfway through this game.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Very low-scoring game.
And we've got an official timeout. Soy Tupero lined up against Ashby. We have an official timeout. Still trying to see what they're dealing with.
And as we mentioned, no official reviews in these seeding games.
Player being seated in the box.
So we're just going to assume that the referees are going to be 100% correct then 100% of the time.
Well, teams can call a team timeout,
Yes.
but there is no official review
official
procedure
reviews. Yeah. Just
just due to time constraints.
Yes, yeah. No, it was a reasonable decision to make given the circumstances, absolutely. All right, Soy Tupero looking for lead jammer status. One to beat now, and he does. Another one for Mexico.
Beautiful job by Soy Tupero. If you're watching the way his footwork is, he's so nimble. He can almost bounce off of the floor, left and right and left again.
Yeah, and again, it was one of those one-on-one battles with Clark, and he was able to eventually shrug off the Wales blocker. And look at that, 4 more points for Mexico now. Just, we will be at the midway point of the game, and we'd like to thank Sisu Mouthguards, who are sponsors on track number 2. But if you've not discovered the awesomeness that is Sisu, you must invest in one. These ultra-thin, super strong mouthguards allow you to talk, breathe, and drink, and they look great in photos. Get yours at the... If you want to come down here, if you're going to come down this weekend, Sisu is on hand. If not, you can go to their website.
So Phillips against El Navarijo back on the jammer line. And they're off, and Phillips almost untouched stealth jam up the inside line on that corner.
Another lead picked up for Wales, 35-18. So again, a very narrow score, 17 points. We are now officially at the midway point. Multiplayer block now is going to send a Wales blocker to the box. Both defenses dragging back at will here at the first apex.
Well, that's what this is turning into, is one of those beautiful defensive contests.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it shows you the preparation, because jamming is something that you could do one-on-one in a small training session. But to practice how to play team defense like this, you have to have training session after training session after training session.
Yeah.
Neither of these teams wasted a minute getting ready for this tournament.
Now, Wales played 4 games on the road to Calgary.
That's correct.
3-1 in that time. And I don't know what this Mexican team has been doing, but whatever it was, it's worked. And a nice, powerful move there from the jammer to get by Butler and complete his first pass. That is Navarijo once again with the star for Mexico, and forces the call off, but not before 5 more points put on the board for Wales.
So Wales at a nice even 40 points, 18 for Mexico. Now remember, these groups are ranked first by wins-losses, and then by points difference. So that points difference will become important later. This timeout brought to you by Quad Skate Shop.
We're going to be testing 3 helmets today. This simulates a 10-mile-an-hour impact or a 4-foot drop. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS Fusion foam did pass the multiple impact test.
All right. So, team timeout called by Wales. They only have one team timeout. That's the way these 30-minute ranking games work. And the clock does not stop because we've got 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We've got an hour in which to play 30 minutes. That's a very tight time frame.
Yeah. Yeah, so very different rule set here early on in this tournament. But as we move on and we move on eventually to one track and full-length games, we will start to see the MRDA rule set
That's correct.
being employed.
And that actually happens tomorrow evening.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, the knockout stages begin tomorrow evening.
And we're back in action. Alex Storm up against Jonesy.
7 leads to 6 right now is the difference for Wales. So very, very slight lead. 13 points is the highest scoring jam of the game so far for Wales.
So that tells you that when Wales get lead, they are very efficient
Yep.
at keeping control of the opposing jammer. And we've got a power jam.
For Wales, and they scored 13 points on that back-to-back power jam earlier on. That was also against Alex Tron. So he's now sitting on, or no, sorry, that was only his second. Alex Storm?
Alex Storm, yes.
It's his second penalty.
And he's done for a misconduct, so probably a mid-air block, judging by the position on the track. 5 points up there for Jones. So again, when Wales get that lead, they manage to take control of the whole jam. Whereas when Mexico are getting lead, they're looking at 4 to 5 points.
Interesting little offensive decision there, too, to send their blockers in early to break up the brace. And it didn't quite seem to work. It was almost the time he was just a little bit off. Mexico had a little bit too much time to reset. But I like that strategy of trying to get ahead of the defense.
You know, Wales were pulling that same move at Four Nations over in Birmingham, one of their prep tournaments.
Yep.
And that's the way they like to play offense, is that 3 or 4 skater sweep, get control of the pack right before the jam arrives. But like you say, it comes down to timing. And if that timing's not perfect, it seems to fall apart.
Nice bridging right there from the Mexico defense once again, holding that jammer back.
He's going to call it.
Yeah, Jones a little wiped out after that one. Nice D from Mexico, stretching that pack out. 50-18 now is the score with 11 minutes to go.
That's always, you know, it's very hard to judge as a jammer. You may well have picked up all 5 points, and then you get recycled, and
Yeah.
so many jammers will fight for the same point 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened to Jones out there. He had picked up all of those points and then tried to fight him for him again before he called it off.
Can't score twice on the same pass. 5 points is the max. Soitupero out there against Ashby.
And it's a scramble pack. Ashby takes advantage. He's out and scoring with lead. High block called on one of the Mexican blockers, I'm sorry. Soitupero recycled all the way to the back. Good advantage here again for Wales.
Yeah, that was probably the scrambliest start we've seen in this game so far, and it's continuing here as we push our way. Still on the second straightaway, so we haven't completed a full lap yet, but Ashby is putting points on the board. A grand slam there for Wales. 5-0 on this jam so far, and he approaches that braced trio of Mexican blockers. And again, nice simple little offense from Butler.
Oh, this is beautifully braced there by Mexico. I love that hand on shoulder backwards controller, especially when it's done by 3 skaters. Very dominant control style of play. Forces recycling on both teams. Oh, Swifty diving in there trying to just mess with the Mexican pack.
Nice.
You know, sometimes Wales go for that coordinated offense, and sometimes they just play wrecking ball.
Yeah. Well, we are, like you mentioned early on, they were really playing a lot of one-on-one kind of wrecking ball derby, but they're tightening things up, as you can see just to the left of your screen there. They are holding Soitupero back.
Yeah, again, I'm sorry about my horrendous pronunciation of Mexican names.
Yes. Oh, it looks like a cutting call to the Mexican jammer.
Yes. So Soitupero on his way to the penalty box. The Welsh boys are a little bit pumped about that. They know they had control in that jam. And a jammer penalty that starts a jam.
Yeah.
That's great. 30 seconds of solo jamming.
And they've got a full pack to deal with.
Ooh.
The Mexico, though, also has a full pack of defenders out there. It looks like Wales is going to split things on the start. You can kind of see it on your screen here. They've got 2 on the inside, 2 on the out.
It's a classic Wales start. I've seen them run this many times. It lets them, look at that, double sweep, both sides, leave it up to Phillips which way he wants to go.
Nice job, though, by the Mexican defense to stay ahead of it.
They did. And that's the risk of that play, is you have nobody up front to control the speed.
Yep.
So that Mexican triple wall right there at the front.
And they're still working on the Wales jammer.
He's gotten up 4 or 5 times now. Somebody told me, rule of thumb, getting up takes as much energy as 1 lap.
Oh, yeah.
So he's skated about 5 laps already before he gets lead jammer status.
Yeah, and you can see it. Phillips a little gassed now as he has completed his initial pass, but great penalty kill. The penalty is over. Soitu Pero is back on the track, running up against a tough Wales defense. Another high block being called. We've had a couple high blocks called in quick succession here on the track. It's going to be Jenkins now, the pivot for Wales heading to the penalty box.
Beautiful recycle job there by Mexico. That's that well-drilled defense. You saw him separate and recycle, snap forward and rejoin. Almost magnetic the way those skaters come together, isn't it?
That's at its best. That's the way this flat track defense has moved. And we've got a team timeout.
Called by Mexico, brought to you by Quad Skate Shop. That ad is my cut.
Oh, yeah, this one?
Yeah. All right.
And welcome back.
That's right. It's 64-18 in favor of the Team Wales. And we're under 7 minutes left to play.
And what a difference Wales is over the last 15 or so minutes and the first 10 that we saw. Just a great recovery after a shaky start. Mexico had complete control over the opening few jams.
They absolutely did. It almost feels like, you know, those Road to Calgary games were so long ago that maybe Wales needed a warm-up scrimmage here to settle their wheels. Because they're settled. This is the Wales I expected.
Yes, yeah. Mexico led over the first 5 jams, but now they've been scoreless in 6. Wow, so and a little bit of a rut here. This is the green pool action you're watching with Canada, Spain, Germany, Mexico, and Wales. The second game in the pool. Coming up after us, you're going to start to see, is that the orange pool?
That is, next up over here is
Scotland.
Red Group, Scotland versus USA. And we're all waiting to see that one, I'm sure.
Yes.
Massive, massive takeout on the inside line. No pack called. Reese taking mild advantage of the no pack, but lead jammer status to Mexico and Carl Lafoe. Carl Lafoe, I believe, is from the New York Stock Exchange, if I'm correct. So again, some great classic talent here.
Yeah.
Men you've seen at MRDA Champs before on this track.
Yeah, and Michael C. in the penalty box skates for the Wheels of Mayhem in California.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, all sorts of individual talent on this Mexican team. But it's Jones completing his initial pass.
And Carl Lafoe calls it off. Classic defensive jamming. He'll pick up a full 5, though. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. And they needed that after going scoreless for a few jams. 2 blockers, though. Silencio at the very end of that jam getting a penalty for direction of gameplay. So it's going to be 2 in the box for Mexico, including their pivot. This will be a pivotless jam, at least to kick things off.
Well, and Reese back there was the number 2 jammer back in 2014. We've got Ashby out here. Did not jam in 2014. Just taking a look at some of the old stats.
Yeah, from the group play.
Yes.
So it looks like an official time, and that gives us an opportunity to talk about man warring. One of the skaters here from Wales.
Yes.
His son Joshua has now attended both World Cups. The first one, though, was in his wife's belly.
He was in utero.
He was
for
in
the first
utero,
World
but now
Cup.
he's here in person.
Funny story, another one of the Team Wales players was unable to make it to the first Men's World Cup. Did they tell you why? Chronic wasn't there?
No.
His wife was pregnant, and he would not allow the baby to be born on English soil.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we have a lead jammer status for Team Mexico and Soitu Pero.
2 in a row now for Mexico.
This is what we're seeing is it's not 1 and 1, it's 2 and 2 or 3 and 3.
Yeah.
You know, one team will hold it for a while.
And calling it off there, points on the board for Mexico. As you mentioned, Statman, the point differential is very important. And 64-32, I think Mexico is, even though they've kind of lost a little bit of the control they had early on, they're still going to be very happy with this result. And this puts them in good position here in the green group.
Absolutely. You know, that point difference really may come down to it. If you expect Wales to beat everyone but Canada, and Canada to win out the group,
Yep.
then it's going to come down to Spain, Germany, Mexico. If we could get a three-way tie-up where it comes down to points difference.
Yeah. So every one of these points is critical here, and we saw Germany looking for points in the late game against Canada too in the opener, and we're going to be seeing that all weekend here. And a lead jammer status for Mexico, third in a row now for the Mexicans. So they're going to end this game the way they started it, and that's very strong and controlling play.
I mean, this is great looks from Mexico. They clearly have a lot of talent on that team.
Yep.
And they've been practicing well. That's obvious to you and I. We've got a cutting penalty, though, on the Mexican jammer.
And a forearm penalty on the Mexican pivot, so Mexico now running into a little bit of penalty trouble.
That's right. And we have the stars are off for Wales. Can't see where they are. Pivot's jamming like he's got them. He's
Yes,
through.
it is. It was a pass, so Ashton now is your jammer for Wales. All four blockers on the track for Wales in this power jam. You can see them setting up now just on the cusp of the second apex.
And Ashton was actually the all-star jammer for Wales back in 2014.
All right,
So this is
who you
not a
want.
bad choice for receiving a star pass.
And under 2 minutes to go here in this game. Carl Lafou back on the track. Power jam has ended. Vicious back on the track as well.
Perfect little shoulder charge there to take out the Welsh jammer. That looks like Michael C.
Pablex, though, still in the box, so there still is a pack advantage for Wales.
And there we go, Wales through.
Star is off. Pass is being attempted now. A nice defense from Wales cutting off that pass. And there has been a procedure call. But it was to a Wales blocker, not to the Mexican jammer.
There was some worry about that, of
Yes.
course. Jam is called. We have 1 minute left in the period, so we will see one last jam. And that jam will play to its natural conclusion. Rule change from 2014. I think a rule change for the better.
Yeah.
So, Soy Tupero up against, I believe that's Reese Jones back here on the jammer line to take this last jam.
And again, points difference is important, so look for Mexico to battle it hard in this one, trying to get the last points in this game and narrow this gap a little bit. 77-36, final jam of this group showdown between Wales and Mexico here at the 2016 Men's Roller Derby World Cup, and a nice little drag back from the Mexican defense.
And a no pass, no penalty on Jonesy, but that means ineligible for lead. Beautiful airmail. Did he land it? No, he did not. Cutting penalty.
So, and no, he's not happy with that call, but the referee was very clear, and it did look a little bit, even from our vantage point, like it was a cut.
From here, we could see, and I don't think he noticed, the no pass, no penalty dealt with the first issue.
Right, yes.
He was given the cut on the leap of the apex.
I wonder if there was that confusion.
So
yeah.
understandable his confusion.
Yeah. Good eye, Statman. And so Mexico now working a power jam. We have gone to the jam time. 1 minute to go on that.
What a great way to end a game. If you're down, you get a power jam to ride out the clock. That's perfect. Soy Tupero with a full 5.
Nice sweep there from Herrera. Inside all the way out. Opened up that lane for his jammer. And again, Herrera with the offense.
But there's that Wales sweep.
Yeah.
Controlled, push the Mexicans outside. Rarely do you see a sweep to own the middle, but well executed. Final score, we got 77 for Wales, 45 for Mexico.
What a performance for Mexico here. Their first ever international action, and a strong game, really strong start, really strong finish. Wales kind of took control of things in the midway point of that game, as to be expected given the disparity in experience between these two clubs.
Well, I would say that Mexico showed about 2 points where they were rolling, they were running the game. Early on, it's now official, 77-45. Early on, Mexico were dominant. First couple jams, it was Mexico's game. Then Wales settled in, found their skates, got grip, if you will, and were able to get control back. A couple of key jams, a couple of power jams. And then Mexico resurged when those packs formed up again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Wales brought it home.
Yeah.
But what a great game. Shows you, you're not kidding, green could be a group of death.
Yeah, watch out for Mexico as this tournament goes on. We've talked all game about their individual talent, and now that they're getting an opportunity to put it all together on a track in actual game situation, we're seeing that there's something to this Mexican club.
Absolutely. And the way this tournament is scheduled, even if you don't end up in the top 2,
Yeah.
there will be knockout games.
Absolutely, yeah.
Every one of these teams gets to skate an additional 2 games in a knockout bracket
Yep.
once this group stage is over.
That's right. We play for placements here at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup, so everyone will get ranked. There will be a few tie positions.
Actually, not this year.
Oh, no, that's right, because of the, yeah.
With the unfortunate withdrawal of
Yes,
Colombia,
we actually have a
we have
perfect,
full knockouts. Yep.
perfect schedule. That's right, the 20 teams.
It's about the maximum you want on 2 tracks, I think.
Yeah.
By the way, oh, there's the chance for Mexico.
There it is. You can hear it here. Track 1, the nerd track.
Keep in mind, if this tournament is too far away from you where you are, bid to host the 2018 Men's Roller Derby World Cup.
There you go.
Details are up on mrdwc.com.
All right, and it looks like we are done, and we're going to throw it to the studio. Panda has a full desk there behind us for an interview. So for Statman, I've been the Derby Nerd. Thank you for tuning in to the 2016 Men's Roller Derby World Cup.
Hi and welcome back to the studio. I'm Panda. I'm joined by 2 of our coaches from the Team Netherlands, Petit Carnage and General Teresa. Hi, welcome. Hi. So, how was the journey over for you guys? When did you arrive?
Most of the time today.
Yeah, so you had some time to practice?
Get used to the time difference.
Yeah.
It's crazy on this side, like we just need to stay awake a little bit longer, so it's
How are,
quite okay.
how are the skaters doing?
Yeah, they're very positive and very much like about having fun.
Great, excellent. So your first game today is versus Team Australia. How do you feel about that?
Well, Australia is clearly a very strong team, so we're just going to see how it goes.
I think it's really about all the guys having as much fun as possible and really learning a lot because we know that our team is a lot less experienced than Team Australia. The Men's Roller Derby in Netherlands is not yet completely as expanded as in other countries. So yeah, it's really about learning a lot.
Okay, what are you looking forward to most over the next 4 days?
I'm going to say the camaraderie in the same way. I've already felt it here in this event in the same way that it was the last World Cup. I think it's really special how all the teams just behave towards each other and how they support each other and give each other feedback. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, everybody working together. Well, we've already seen, I found it really heartwarming to meet them having a European flag on track at the opening ceremony. I don't know for you, but for me it was really heartwarming.
That's great. So anything that you're concerned about? Don't want to give too much away.
Injuries.
Yeah.
Injuries always are a big thing.
Of course, yeah. I mean, with not having such a developed men's derby in our country, plus the fact that it's quite a big expense for players, we don't get to bring up a huge roster. So yeah, that's going to be a challenge over the next couple of days.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to feed back a little bit of information from what we've been seeing here on track 1. We had Wales versus Team Mexico. Wales taking the win, 77 for 45 for Team Mexico. On track 2, we've got Team France on 209 points and Team Puerto Rico on 30 points. So we're going to be handing over to the guys now on track 1 for the next game, which is going to be Scotland versus Team USA. And we are ready to go. Thank you.
Bye.
Nerd Roller Skates is your dedicated quad roller skate shop in Calgary, Alberta.
Being a nerd is about being really excited and really passionate about a really specific thing. And the thing that we are really excited and passionate about is roller skates.
Nerd Roller Skates.
Official skate shop, Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016.
For people who roll.
I am your fortress on the front line of sport. Engineered to be stronger than the attack. I defy convention by protecting more with less. Helping you breathe easier, hydrate faster, speak more clearly. I am Sisu, and I fend for you.
Then I can jam the track. Quads on the floor, stars on the head. Roller derby logbook, the zebra said. Yeah, we rollin', yeah, we rapping for real. Can feel the back wheels underneath my heels. Up through my spine, penetrating the heart. Calling up the jam till the next jam starts.
We really miss the feeling of spontaneously visiting a store and trying out the newest gear. Hang out for all roller skaters. Everyone has their own unique style. Because of our large assortment, we can now personalise roller skates while you wait, so you can try them out right away. Our mission is to fit you with the right gear, and don't forget to turn left.
Hey, this is Dan from S1 Helmets. We're in the testing lab today, testing helmets to see if they pass the Multiple Impact Certification Test. We're going to be testing 3 helmets today. A soft foam helmet with EVA foam and a terry cloth liner, the hockey helmet with triple density EVA foam, the S1 Lifer helmet with EPS Fusion foam. All 3 of these helmets are marketed as multiple impact helmets. We're going to test all of them today and see which ones actually pass the test. The multiple impact test is when we drop a helmet to achieve a velocity of 4.57 meters per second. This simulates a 10-mile-an-hour impact or a 4-foot drop. The same helmet is tested 3 times in the same location. The helmet must reduce the energy pulse to under 300 Gs each time. Anything over 300 Gs can result in a traumatic brain injury or a severe concussion. In summary, the soft foam helmet with EVA foam and the hockey helmet with triple density foam did not pass the multiple impact test. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS Fusion foam did pass the multiple impact test.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see like if you win. Let's say if USA.
Okay, I love to play roller derby because I 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 play roller derby because
Ich spiele Derby hier, weil ich die Action auf dem Spielfeld mag.
I'm competitive, I like energy, I like power and I like the speed.
Omdat ik ervan hou lijp te doen op rolschaatsen. Het is een vet bizarre sport.
Que j'aime me donner à fond sur le track et ça me rend heureuse.
Perché non posso farne a meno.
Love at first sight.
I love developing my skills and I love developing new strategies. It's taken me to many new places that I would not have normally gone.
Alltså fordi jag kan stå som en rollskådare som jag där.
Soy muy competitiva. It is the most unique opportunity to go past your boundaries and try anything and everything that you thought you couldn't do and prove to yourself that you can.
Voljela bi da mogu igrati roller derby i u Hrvatskoj.
When you love to roll and you need the best gear you can get, come to our brick and mortar shop in Amsterdam. Or visit the website at www.thederbyshop.nl. We have it all. The Derby Shop. Because roller derby saved your soul, but wrecks all your gear.
At Roller Derby Athletics, we take the guesswork out of off-skate training so you can focus on being fierce. We help you transform your game without a lot of time or equipment. With 5 training programs plus all-star memberships, there's an option to suit every athlete. And we train skaters worldwide with high-quality video instruction and online support. At Roller Derby Athletics, we empower you to be safe, strong, and unstoppable. Want to see for yourself? Sign up today for our free Basics Builder program.
Hi folks, Scald Eagle here. Have you had a chance to take a look at the new Bonk Quadstar skate? The boots are ultra lightweight with no break-in period, and are great for skaters with skinnier ankles. They also have a 100% Australian full-grain leather outer and a completely heat-moldable hand-laid fiberglass base. Get that premium performance without the premium price tag. Boom. Come over to the Bonk booth right now and check out this rad new skate.
Shut up, disaster. Shut up, disaster. Look at that.